Ladakh. Etymologically, in Tibetan, Ladvags means land of high passes. It is a region in the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir that currently extends from Siachen Glacier in the Karakoram Range to the main Great Himalaya to the south, inhabited by the people of Indo-Aryan and Tibetan descent. It is one of the most sparsely populated regions in Jammu and Kashmir, and its culture and history are closely related to that of Tibet. Ladakh is renowned for its remote mountain beauty and culture. Ladakh is the highest altitude plateau region in India, much of it being over 3,000 meters, incorporating parts of Himalayan and Karakoram mountain ranges and the upper Indus River Valley. The mountain ranges in this region were formed over a period of 45 million years by the folding of Indian plate into the stationary landmass of Asia. While the Himalayan ranges were formed from the base of material of the Indian plate, the Zanskar range consists of layers of sediment from the ocean floor, and the Ladakh range of granite was born of the immense heat generated by the friction between two plates. In Ladakh, the suture zone between the continental masses runs a little into the south of Indus Valley. The drift continues and is the cause of frequent earthquakes in Himalayan region. Crossing the Himalaya by the dip of Zoji, the crest line of range remains at a relatively modest level, the highest peaks near the pass being little more than 5,000 to 5,500 meters above sea level. Southeast of Zoji, the scale increases, reaching a climax of mighty massif of Nunkun with two summits over 7,000 meters. The Indus River, that resembles trellis pattern, is the backbone of Ladakh. All the major places historically and currently, such as She, Leh, Basco and Tingmosgang, are situated close to the river. It is a high mountain pass in the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir, located on National Highway 1 between Srinagar and Leh, in the western section of Himalayan mountain range. It separates Kashmir Valley to its west from Dras Valley to its northeast. Zoji is about 100 kilometers from Srinagar, the state capital, and 15 kilometers from Sonmarg. It provides a vital link between Ladakh and Kashmir Valley. It runs at an elevation of approximately 3,528 meters and is the second highest pass after Fotula on the Srinagar-Leh National Highway. It is often closed during winters, and Beacon Force Unit of the BRO is responsible for clearing and maintenance of the road during winter. It is sometimes referred to as Zoji Pass, which is a misnomer, and the suffix pass is redundant because the word La itself means a mountain pass in Tibetan language. Zoji Tunnel project was approved by the Government of India in January 2018, and the commencement of its construction was inaugurated by Prime Minister in May 2018. The 14-kilometer long tunnel will reduce the time to cross Zoji Pass from more than 3 hours to just 15 minutes. The initial cost of tunnel is $930 million. It will be the longest bidirectional tunnel in Asia when completed. Dras. It is a town in Kargil district of Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir on National Highway 1. Hamlet of Dras is situated about 60 kilometers away from Kargil on the road to Srinagar. Popularly known as the gateway to Ladakh, Dras is the coldest inhabited place in India and the second coldest inhabited place in world, Siberia being the first. The mountain village of Dras first came into limelight in the year 1999 when Pakistan army incursions led to the Kargil war with India. Dras is the coldest place in India, experiencing an altitude-influenced Mediterranean continental climate according to Köppen climate classification. Winters are cold with average low around -20 degrees centigrade and as low as -23 degrees centigrade at the height of winter, which lasts from mid-October to mid-May. Summers start in June and go on up till early September with average temperatures near 23 degrees centigrade and little precipitation. Annual precipitation is almost entirely concentrated from December to May, when Dras gets 550 millimeters water equivalent of snowfall. The lowest temperature drop observed in Dras was during the winters of 1995, when the thermal reading fell to -60 degrees Celsius. On the outskirts of Dras is a place called Bhimbet. Local legend from local folklore says this piece of rock is supposed to represent Bhim, the burly Pandava from epic Mahabharata, and the soil surrounding it has great healing powers. The natives of Dras, belonging to the Dard and Balti community, are hardy people. They speak the Shina language and make their homes in small clusters of huts scattered all over the Dras Valley. Kargil War Memorial is a war memorial built by Indian Army located in Dras in the foothills of Tolo Ling Hill. The memorial is located about 5 km from the city center across the Tiger Hill. It is located on the Srinagar-Leh National Highway 1. Kargil War Memorial is in the memory of soldiers and officers of Indian Army who were martyred during the 1999 conflict between India and Pakistan. The conflict later became known as the Kargil War. A giant national flag weighing 15 kg was hoisted at the Kargil War Memorial to commemorate the 13th anniversary of India's victory in the war. The Kargil War Memorial is an important landmark and a major tourist attraction in western Ladakh. In the year 2016, about 1,25,000 visitors are believed to have visited the memorial. The Dras River is 86 km long and flows entirely in Dras Valley. Its source lies in the Machoe Glacier near Jozila Pass, the gateway to Ladakh. The Shingo River joins the Dras River at Kharbu and doubles the flow of river. The combined Dras and Shingo rivers join the Suru River at Kharul, which is 7 km north from town of Kargil. The Suru River, it is 185 km long river that originates from Panzela Glacier, which lies at Penzila Pass near Drangdrung Glacier. The source of Suru River lies 142 km south of Kargil town and 79 km north from Zanskar. It forms the western and northern boundary of Zanskar range. The Suru River then flows northwards through a deep narrow gorge to Kargil town. The Suru River then enters the Pakistani-administered Kashmir 5 km ahead from the point of merger of Dras and Suru rivers through Post 43, Post 44 of India and Pakistan respectively and merges with the Indus River at Nurla. Kargil. Kargil is a town in the Kargil district of Ladakh region in the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. Kargil has an average elevation of 2,676 meters which is 8,780 feet, and is situated along the banks of Suru River. It is the second largest town in Ladakh after Leh. The name Kargil is said to be derived from the words Kar and Arkil. Kar means castle and Arkil means center, thus a place between castles, as the place lay between many kingdoms. The competing theory is that Kargil has been derived from the words Gar and Kil. Gar is a local language, mean anywhere, and Kil means central place where people could stay. Kargil has a temperate climate. Summers are hot with cool nights, while winters are long and chilly, with temperatures often dropping below -20 degrees Celsius. Namika La or Namika Pass is situated at the elevation of about 3,700 meters. It literally means the pillar of the sky. It is a high mountain pass in the Zanskar range along the Srinagar-Leh highway. Fotu La is another mountain pass, an elevation of 4,108 meters. It is the highest point on the highway, surpassing the framed Jozila. Fotu La is one of the two high mountain passes between Leh and Kargil, the other being Namika La. Moving eastwards, the highway begins to descend towards the Lamayuru at Fotu La. Lamayuru. Lamayuru or Yuru Monastery or the Eternal Monastery is a Tibetan Buddhist monastery in Lamayuru, Leh district, India. It is situated on the Srinagar-Leh highway 15 kilometers east of the Fotu La at the height 3,510 meters. It is one of the largest, oldest gompas in Ladakh, with a population of around 150 permanent monk resident. It has in past housed up to 400 monks, many of which are now based in gompas in surrounding villages. According to popular tradition, it was originally the foremost Bon monastery in Ladakh. Its name means swastika and is a popular symbol in Bon for eternity. Yungdrung is the name of most popular school of Bon. It is currently affiliated with Drikung Kagyu school of Buddhism. The Drikung history states that the Indian scholar Naropa, who allegedly caused the lake to dry up and founded Lamayuru monastery. Evidently, the lacustrine sediments can be observed all around the village that resembles moon-like surface and thus is famous as Moonland amongst travelers. Khalsi. Khalsi or Khalsi is a village in the Leh district of Jammu and Kashmir, located in the Khalsi Tehsil, 337 kilometers from Srinagar to National Highway 1, where it crosses the Indus over an iron bridge. Much of its importance is because it is the place where the road from Kashmir debouches into Indus Valley. Basco is a town situated on the bank of Indus River in Leh district. It was one of the most important cultural and political center and is frequently mentioned in Ladakhi chronicles. It is known for its gompas such as Basco Monastery, and historical ruins built for Namgyal ruler in 1680. Nimue is a village in Leh district located in the southeast Ladakh region and is 35 km from Leh. It is a stop for all the river rafting groups and is the main starting point for the annually held All India River Rafting Expedition, which is done in Indus River. Crossing the village, we reach the Indus-Zanskar confluence. This confluence has become one of the hot tourist spots near Leh in recent years. At the Sangam, the Indus River can be seen as shiny blue in color, while Zanskar River is dirty green. In the summer season, Zanskar is swollen and rapid, while Indus is comparatively calmer. In the winters, it is quite the opposite. Zanskar slows down. Its flow is light and is completely frozen at a lot of places, enabling the legendary Chadar trek, while Indus flows fast with ice floating on it. Magnetic Hill. Magnet Hill is a cyclops hill located near Leh in Ladakh, India. The layout of the area and surrounding slopes create the appearance of a hill. The hill road is actually a downhill road. Objects and car on the hill road may appear to roll uphill in defiance of the gravity when they are in fact rolling downhill. Located 30 kilometers from Leh, it is a major tourist attraction in the valley and a perfect pit stop for tired riders moving on the highway. Pathar Sahib Gurudwara. Gurudwara Pathar Sahib is a beautiful Gurudwara Sahib constructed in the memory of Guru Nanak, about 25 miles away from Leh on the Leh-Kargil road, 12,000 feet above sea level. The Gurudwara was built in 1517 to commemorate the visit to the Ladakh region of Guru Nanak Dev, the founder guru of Sikh faith. Accessibility through Himachal via Manali-Leh highway is one of the surreal and breathtakingly beautiful highways of incredible India. It is 473 kilometers long highway in midst of Indian Himalaya and most celebrated highways all over the world among adventure seekers. This highway goes through beautiful villages of Kullu Valley and Lahaul Valley, Sarchu and Moreh Plains, incredible 21 hairpin bends of Gata loops and 5 high-altitude Himalayan passes of Indian Himalaya. After Rohtang Pass, at an altitude of 3,980 meters, the second mountain pass is Bara Lacha La, also known as Bara Lacha Pass. 4,890 meters is a high mountain pass in Zanskar range, connecting Lahaul district in Himachal Pradesh to Ladakh in Jammu and Kashmir, situated along the Leh-Manali highway. The Bhaga River, a tributary of Chandrabhaga or Chenab River, originates from Suraj Dal Lake, which is situated a few kilometers from pass towards Manali. The other major tributary of Chandrabhaga, the Chandra, also originates from glacier in this region. The pass also acts as a water divide between the Bhaga River and Yunam River. Namika La is third high-altitude Himalayan pass on Manali-Leh highway at 4,739 meters, which comes from the stretch of Sarchu and Whiskey Nalla. It belongs to Ladakh region of Leh district, Jammu and Kashmir, India. Lachung La is fourth high-altitude Himalayan pass on Manali-Leh highway, which is 5,065 meters above sea level, which comes between the stretch of Whiskey Nalla and Pang. It belongs to Ladakh region of Leh district, Jammu and Kashmir, India. Tanglang La is fifth high-altitude Himalayan pass on Manali-Leh highway at an altitude of 5,328 meters, which comes between the stretch of Debring and Rumzi. It belongs to Ladakh region of Leh district, Jammu and Kashmir, India. the Leh-Manali highway leading south from Upshi and Tanglangla is paved, with exception of very short, unpaved section just north of the pass. The pass itself is paved. On ascending the pass from Moor Plains, the road is well paved too, with occasional streams crossing. The sign claims 17,582 feet, which would be 5,358 meters, and claims to be the world's second highest motorable pass. The claim is no longer accurate, however, and is actually the 12th highest motorable pass. The Manali-Leh highway remains open for 5 months in a year, but July, August and September is the best time to travel on this route. Traveling on this route in July brings its own challenges without making them too risky. The road conditions are good and the campsites and other places to stay are fully operational during this time. However, there is a tourist rush in Manali, which continues till Rohtang Pass during this month. One of the common concerns for motorists taking the Manali-Leh highway is availability of petrol pumps. Since there are not many petrol pumps on Manali-Leh highway, motorists should carry extra fuel in the jerry can. This is highly advisable. Other than that, Manali has a lot of petrol pumps, and the next petrol pump after that on Manali-Leh highway is at Tandi, which lies at a distance of approximately 110 km from Manali and is the last petrol pump before Leh. One can also expect to find fuel at Pang or Sarju, but its quality cannot be guaranteed. Leh City. Leh is a city in Leh district of Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. It was the capital of Himalayan kingdom of Ladakh, the seat of which was in Leh Palace, the former mansion of royal family of Ladakh, built in a same style and about the same time as the Potala Palace in Tibet, the chief residence of the Dalai Lama until 14th Dalai Lama fled to Dharamshala, India during 1959 Tibetan uprising. Leh is at an altitude of 3,524 meters and is connected via National Highway 1 to Srinagar in southwest and to Manali in the south via the Leh-Manali highway. In 2010, Leh was heavily damaged by the sudden floods caused by a cloudburst, dotted with stupas and whitewashed houses. The rapid and poorly planned urbanization of Leh has increased the risk of flash floods in some areas, while other areas, according to research by Climate and Development Knowledge Network, suffer from less dramatic gradual effects of invisible disasters, which often go unreported. The old town of Leh was added to the World Monuments Fund's list of 100 most endangered sites due to increased rainfall from climate change and other reasons. It is dominated by a dagger of steep rocky ridge topped by an imposing Tibetan-style palace and fort. Beneath the bustling bazaar area is draped in a thick veneer of tour agencies, souvenir shops and tandoori pizza restaurants, but a web of lanes quickly fans out into a green suburban patchwork of irrigated barley fields. Here, gushing streams and narrow footpaths link traditionally styled Ladakhi garden homes that double as charming, inexpensive guest houses. Irrespective of the peculiar geographical location, Arctic and cold desert climate, and very low status of precipitation, the economy of district Leh is agro-based and rural-oriented and is the mainstay of local population. Most of the working population of district is engaged in agriculture and livestock activities. Unlike other districts of state, the Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council, which is LAHDC, constituted in 1995, is in charge of the governance in Leh. Mountains dominate the landscape around the Leh, as it is at an altitude of 3,500 meters. The principal access roads includes the 434 km Leh Highway, which connects Leh and Srinagar, and the 473 km Leh-Manali Highway, which connects Manali with Leh. Both roads are open only on seasonal basis. Planes fly year-round and are the only option in winter. One should book early and give at least a few days of flexibility, as flights are often delayed due to weather conditions. Leh Airport is called the Kushok Bakula Rinpoche Airport. It operates flights to major cities like Delhi, Jammu, Srinagar, and Chandigarh, to name a few. This airport, being a military air terminal, is very strict when it comes to security checks. The royal palace, known as Leh Palace, was built by King Sengye Namgyal, presumably between the period when the Portuguese Jesuit priest Francisco de Azevedo visited Leh in 1631. The Leh Palace is 9 stories high. The upper floors accommodated the royal family and the stables, and the storerooms are located on the lower floors. The palace was abandoned when Kashmiri forces besieged it in the mid-19th century. The royal family moved their premises south to their current home in Stock Palace at the southern bank of Indus. Shanti Stupa is a Buddhist white domed stupa on a hilltop in Chanspa, Leh district, Ladakh, in the North Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. Shanti Stupa was built in 1991 by a Japanese Buddhist bhikshu, Gyomyo Nakamura, as a part of Peace Pagoda mission. The Shanti Stupa holds the relics of Buddha and its base, enshrined by 14th Dalai Lama. The stupa has become a tourist attraction not only due to religious significance but also due to its location, which provides panoramic views of surrounding landscape. Buddhism in Ladakh. Buddhism in Ladakh is ancient and widespread and a popular theme for cultural tours in Ladakh. The population of Ladakh is predominantly Buddhist, and Ladakh has been deeply influenced by Tibetan Buddhism, which follows the Mahayana and Vajrayana schools. In these forms of Buddhism, Buddha is worshipped a deity who has attained nirvana. Various incarnations of Buddha, known as bodhisattvas, are also worshipped in monasteries. Many tourists undertake trip to Ladakh to explore, understand, and learn from ancient Buddhism which is practiced here. The mythology of Tibetan Buddhism has many tales of various spirits and demons. These representations of both good and evil qualities are depicted in form of masks, and their stories are enacted as mask dances during annual festivals of various gompas in Ladakh. Currently, the locals of Ladakh follow His Highness Dalai Lama as their supreme religious leader. Initially named Tenzin Gyatso, His Highness Dalai Lama is the 14th in list of Dalai Lamas. He was recognized by the previous Lama as the incarnation of the Lord, as well as later crowned as the present Dalai Lama. 77% population of Ladakh is Buddhist. They predominantly belong to Drukpa or Red Hats. The term Red Hat in Tibetan is Shamar. Shamarpa or Red Hat Lama is a Tulku or reincarnated Lama of Kagyu sect of Tibetan Buddhism, who does indeed wear a red hat as a symbol of his position. Drukpa means dragon, thus actually referring to those who have awakened as black dragons or black magicians. These monasteries in Ladakh that are truly a living heritage of the Buddha and his disciples are Hemis Monastery, Thiksi Monastery, Diskit Abbey, Likar Abbey, Spituk Monastery, Stakna Monastery, Alki Monastery, and Phiang Monastery. Khardung La or Khardung Pass is a mountain pass in Ladakh region of Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. The local pronunciation is Khardong La or Khardong La. But as with most names in Ladakh, the Romanized spelling varies. The pass of Ladakh range is north of Leh and is the gateway of Tso and Nubra valleys. The Siachen Glacier lies part way up the latter valley, but in 1976 it was opened to public motor vehicles in 1988. Maintained by the Border Roads Organization (BRO), the pass is strategically important to India as it is used to carry supplies to Siachen Glacier. Today, it is two-way road. Though motorable road came late, it has long been navigated by traders. A caravan of about 10,000 horses and camels navigated this road annually on their way to Kashgar in Central Asia. The pass is strategically important because of the tense Indo-China relation. Khardung La Pass, being the highest motorable road, is questionable. Well-built roads have been known to exist at higher altitudes in India and Tibet, namely Mana Pass, which is 5,454 meters, Semo La, which is 5,565 meters, Suji La, which is 5,430 meters, etc. Perhaps Khardung La Pass has an advantage because it is open year-round. The pass has an Indian Army post and a temple. Travelers often stop to have their photo taken along with signboard that proclaims Khardung La Pass to be the highest motorable pass in the world. The pass cuts through the mountain peak and so it offers amazing view of Leh and mountains surrounding the valley. Before entering the pass, we stopped at two checkposts. All tourists need a travel permit to enter Nubra Valley, as in the case of other places while traveling in Ladakh. The zone is prone to heavy mist and can be dangerous in low visibility conditions. Do not travel this pass in severe weather conditions. Avalanches, heavy snowfalls and landslides can occur anytime, being extremely dangerous due to frequent patches of ice. It has well-deserved reputation for being dangerous because of unpredictable snowstorms and blizzards, and driving under these conditions can be extremely challenging. The road is primarily loose rock, dirt, and usually covered in snow. Nubra. It is a tri-armed valley located to the northeast of Ladakh Valley. Diskit, the headquarter of eponymous subdivision, and also the Nubra Tehsil, is about 150 km north from Leh town, the capital of Ladakh district, Jammu and Kashmir, India. Local scholars say that its original name was Ladumbra, the Valley of Flowers. The Tso River meets the Nubra or Siachen River to form a large valley that separates the Ladakh and Karakoram ranges. The Tso River is a tributary to Indus River. The average altitude of the valley is about 10,000 feet, that is 3,048 meters above sea level. The common way to access this valley is to travel over Khardung La Pass from Leh town. The deep-cut Tso and Nubra river valleys offer tremendous scenery on a grand scale, with green oasis villages surrounded by thrilling slopes and harsh arid mountains along the white sand desert. Siachen Glacier lies to the north of the valley. The Sazar Pass and the famous Karakoram Pass lie to the northwest of the valley and connect Nubra with Uyghur or Xinjiang. Previously, there was much trade passing through the area with the western China's Xinjiang and Central Asia. The people of Baltistan also used the Nubra Valley for passage to Tibet. Diskit is a village and headquarter of Diskit Nubra Tehsil and Nubra subdivision in the Leh district of Jammu and Kashmir, India. Diskit Monastery, also known as Diskit Gompa, is the oldest and largest Buddhist monastery in the Nubra Valley of Ladakh, northern India. The Diskit Monastery is situated on the hill just above the floodplains of Shiok River on its right bank in the Diskit village in Nubra Valley. Since the valley is at the lower elevation, it has mild climate. This climatic condition has created lush vegetation in the valley, and the valley is therefore called the Orchard of Ladakh. The village is approachable from Leh by road via the Khardung Pass. The traffic of this road may be disrupted between October and May due to snowfall and landslides. Diskit is populated by Gelugpa or Yellow Hat sect of Tibetan Buddhism. It was founded by Changzem Serab Zangpo, a disciple of Zikong Khapa, founder of Gelugpa in the 14th century. It is a sub-Gompa of the Thiksi Gompa. The Photong, or official residence of Chief Lama of Nubra, is located at the foothill where there is also very large statue of Jampa Buddha. This impressive 32-meter statue on the top of hill below the monastery faces down the Shiok River towards Pakistan and is believed to protect the locals from enemy. Hundar is a village in Leh district of Jammu and Kashmir, famous for sand dune and Bactrian camel. It is located in the Nubra Tehsil of the bank of Shiok River. It was once the capital of former Nubra kingdom. There are several ruined buildings, including the ruins of the King's Palace, the Lanshan Kar, or the Elephant Palace. There is a fort at the top of the hill called Gula. Hundar also has two Buddhist temples, White Temple Lakhang Karpo and the Red Temple Lakhang Marpo. Between Hundar and Diskit lie the white sand dunes. Lost in greenery and closely backed by soaring valley cliffs, it is coated at an altitude of about 4,000 meters. The desert is cut across by a gentle stream and the beautiful countryside. With such stunning landscape against the backdrop of snow-clad mountains, the Hundar sand dune looks nothing less than fairy world. Hundar lies on the ancient Silk Route, once an important international trade route. Hundar is most popular for the camel rides in high-altitude cold desert. The camel safaris are done on Bactrian double-humped camels, which are a reminder the bygone era of Silk Route trade. The common cost is 200 INR for 15-minute ride. The vast stretch of sand dunes between Hundar village and Diskit is where you once see the Bactrian camel grazing in sea buckthorn forests. Earlier, Hundar village was the last point where visitors were allowed after obtaining inner line permits from DC office in Leh. Since 2010, the Indians were allowed to travel further to Turtuk. In 2013, even foreigners were allowed to travel up to Turtuk. From 2014, Indian visitors no longer require inner line permits to travel to Nubra Valley anymore. Thoisi is a military airfield and small village in Nubra Valley, Jammu and Kashmir, India. Occupying the large piece of flat land in the area, the airstrip is a critical facility enabling a quick flow of men and material from the Indian mainland to Siachen Glacier, helipad, and battleground near the actual ground position line between India and Pakistan. Thoisi is not a real name but an acronym, Transit Halt of Indian Soldiers en route, Siachen. It is out of the bounds for civilians. The last checkpost is at Hundar, at a bridge where photography is not permitted. Indian Oil Corporation Limited is making an oil depot to serve the Indian Army. The construction project is in progress and is monitored from Chandigarh. Turtuk, the headquarter of eponymous block, is one of the northmost village of India situated in Leh district of Jammu and Kashmir. It is only Balti region under the Indian administration and was under Pakistani's control until 1971, after which India gained control over the strategic area. Geographically, Turtuk lies in Baltistan region and is one among 4 such villages in India, the other 3 being Tyakshi, Chalunka and Thang. The residents of Turtuk and its adjoining villages speak Balti language along with Ladakhi and Urdu. Turtuk is the last outpost of India at Thang, after which Pakistan-controlled Gilgit-Baltistan begins. Turtuk was opened to tourists in 2010. Though a Muslim village, there are few gompas located on the plateau above the Shiok river, and there is old royal house to see in the village. Turtuk is one of the few places in India where one can witness Balti culture, and one can find few homestays and guest houses in the village. It is the last major village where tourist activity is allowed before the line of control. The mixed backgrounds of Turtuk's villagers, who are of Tibetan and Indo-Aryan descent, speak to Baltistan's once important role as a connector of goods, cultures and people. Thang is the northmost village of India, as an Indian Army proclamation states there, on the banks of Shiok. The village lies a few kilometers beyond Turtuk, and you cross Tyakshi village to get to this point. To go beyond Turtuk, one need permission from the army to visit the village, where the army board states you are under enemy surveillance. The mountain heights on the right of Shiok are all territory in Pakistani control. One can see a fence which denotes the LOC, and 100 meters on each side are no man's land. The best part is that a gentleman over there gives a guided tour and shows the area, like the fence, Indian Army bunker, Pakistan Army bunker, Pakistani flag on the peak as they dominate the heights. Quite revealing, and the best part is that one is allowed to take pictures and videos authorized by Indian Army. Going to Thang village is not allowed except for locals. From Thang, one can see the village of Ranu across the LOC, and nothing separates this village from the other side besides certain landmines. The green patch in the distance at the bottom of mountains is the first village, Franu, on the other side. The adjoining border twin village Tyakshi and Pashathang are located along Shiok river with population about 120 Balti-speaking people. It was liberated by India on 16th December 1971. Agriculture is the mainstay of the area, along with horticulture. Barley and fruits such as apricots, apple, cherry and walnut are the best revenue generating produce of the area. The Akshi village has the school constructed by Pakistan and run by India since 1973. Panamik is a beautiful scenic village in the Nubra Valley and famous for its hot spring. The hot water springs of Panamik are enriched with high amount of sulfur. A dip in the sulfur hot springs is believed to cure various health ailments. Owing to the health benefits of these hot springs, the Panamik village is visited daily by the people from neighboring villages. The village of Panamik is also famous for its Kashmiri and Tibetan artifacts, Kashmiri carpet, Pashmina shawls, and woolen socks. The Nubra Valley is amongst the richest repository of Ladakh's ancient archaeological and rock art heritage, which reflects ancient trade and religious routes that passed through it, particularly those went across the Sazar-La and Karakoram Pass en route to Yarkand. There are approximately 25 known rock art sites in Nubra area, with the majority of them along the Nubra River and in proximity to its confluence with Shyok River. Sazoma is a village about 15 km north of the village of Panamik and also the site of military camp that regulates entry to the Siachen Glacier. A variety of mascoids carved on single boulder near Sazoma military camp can be observed alongside the road of Siachen. Wild goats, wild sheep, and onagers or wild horses on a boulder can be observed at the site that is yet to grab attention of travelers. The anthropomorphic figures with large hands gesturing upwards from Khimi and Sazoma belong to the Bronze Age into the Nubra Valley. Petroglyphs in Ladakh have been studied by quite a few foreign scholars, but none acted towards conservation of these geosites. The need of the hour is to take necessary steps towards its geoconservation. Journey from Nubra to Pangong. There are two routes, the Warila route and the Agam Shyok route. The first one goes through two high-altitude passes, Warila and Changla, and is longer of the two and easily an 8 to 10 hours journey at the least. The other route is via Agam Shyok road, involves no steep climbing but still riskier, dangerous and difficult. However, traveling on the Agam Shyok road can easily take you to Pangong Tso from Nubra Valley in 4 to 5 hours. After crossing Khalsar village, you need to take the road towards village Agam, leaving the upper route going towards Khardungla. Once you reach Agam, you will be at a bifurcation where the road left would take you to Shyok village and the one towards right is going towards Warila. This entire area is highly desolated when you would rarely come across another living soul. Pangong Tso, Tibetan for high grassland lake, also referred to as Pangong Lake. The word Pangong is derived from a Tibetan word Bangong Ko, which means long, narrow, enchanted lake. The lake is an endorheic lake in the Himalayas situated at the height of about 4,350 meters. It is 134 km long and extends from India to the Tibetan Autonomous Region, China. Approximately 60% of the length of the lake lies within Tibetan Autonomous Region. The lake is 5 kilometers wide at its broadest point. Altogether, it covers 604 square kilometers. During winter, lake freezes completely. Despite being saline water, it is not part of the Indus River Basin area and geographically a separate, landlocked river basin. Between Leh and Pangong Tso Lake lies the Thang Wildlife Sanctuary, where a small patch of green grass is the habitat of Himalayan marmot, the longest hibernating mammal in the world. Here, tourists stop by to see the marmots and, much against the wildlife norms, feed them biscuits. Tourists do not listen to local guides when told not to feed the marmots. Marmots, which are usually confined to burrows most of their life, wander freely in the region and quite unusually are not taken aback when humans approach them closely. This is dangerous as these burrowed animals could face increasing threats from predators if they are outside constantly waiting to be fed by humans. Thang Hot Spring, located about 40 km north of Puga, Ladakh. It provides geothermal energy. Direct use of geothermal energy is a very old method when people used hot springs for bathing, cooking food, and other day-to-day heating purposes. Besides, the hot spring water is used to heat greenhouses, fish farms, and spas, to dry fish, de-ice roads, and improve oil recovery, and to heat. But now, modern systems are being used for direct use in which a well is drilled into geothermal reservoir to provide a steady stream of hot water. Tso Moriri or Lake Moriri or Mountain Lake is a lake in Ladakhi part of Thang Plateau in Jammu and Kashmir. The lake and surrounding area are protected as the Tso Moriri Wetland Conservation Reserve. The lake is at an altitude of 4,522 meters. It is the largest of the high-altitude lakes entirely within India and entirely within Ladakh in this trans-Himalayan biogeographic region. It is about 16 miles north to south in length and 2 to 3 miles wide. The lake has no outlet at present and the water is brackish, though not very perceptible to taste. The lake is an endorheic lake. The lake is oligotropic in nature and has alkaline water. Until 1959, the lake was source of salt for the local population. Located on the west bank of the lake, the 400-year-old Kargil monastery attracts a sizable chunk of tourists and Buddhist pilgrims. The lake is an important breeding point for avifauna species and as many as 34 species of birds, including 14 species of water birds such as black-necked crane, black-necked grebe Podiceps nigricollis, brown-headed gulls, great-crested griband bar-headed geese. Kargil or Korzok is a village in Leh district of Jammu and Kashmir, India. It is located in the Nimue Tehsil in Rupshu region and block on the shore of Tso Moriri Lake. It is among the highest village in the world. Various sources give slightly different measurements of the altitude from 15,075 feet. The Drukpa Buddhist Kargil monastery is located here. The nomadic population, which establishes their tent in summer, adds to the agricultural operations in the region. Pashmina is the valuable product that the Changmas trade along with the salt that they extract from large salt fields in the area, such as the springs at Puga. They barter these two products for food grains and other necessities. Puga Valley in the Ladakh region of Jammu and Kashmir is one of the areas in India that showed significant potential for geothermal energy in early studies by Indian government. Puga lies in the southeastern part of Ladakh and forms a part of Himalayan geothermal belt. This zone shows evidence of geothermal activity in the form of hot springs, mud pools, sulfur and borax deposits. Local Amchis visit here during a specific period and advise bath in a particular hot spring, and is believed by Amchis that a soak here relieves backaches and cures skin diseases. The Tso Kar Lake, known for its size and depth, is a fluctuating salt lake situated in the Rupshu Plateau and Valley in the southern part of Ladakh in Jammu and Kashmir. The Tso Kar Lake, also known as White Lake, because the white salt of the water deposits all over the lake shores. The Tso Kar Lake is very popular with bird watchers. The area surrounding Tso Kar Lake is rich with wildlife and birds. The lake is surrounded by marshlands that host amazing bird life, which include Brahmani duck, bar-headed geese, and the great crested grebe. But the main attraction among the bird life at the lake is black-headed cranes. Until a few years ago, the lake was an important source of salt which the Changpa nomads used to export to Tibet. There is a tented camp on the west bank of the lake which provides accommodation for tourists. The Tso Kar area is inhabited by Khampas, a nomadic group that live in large tents in summers and in solid stone huts to brave the winter. Known as Chinese cowboys, they are basically herdsmen and rear cattle such as yaks, cows, and goats. Due to high altitude, the climate is extreme in winter. Temperatures below -40 degrees Celsius are not uncommon. Pashmina. Pashmina is a prince of specialty hair fiber and is one of the finest natural fiber. Pashmina has derived its name from Persian word pashm, which means soft gold. It is well known for its fineness, warmth, softness, desirable aesthetic value, elegance, and timelessness in fashion. It is most luxurious fiber, which is much softer than superfine merino wool of the same diameter, with the result it commands much higher price. Pashmina is also known as Kashmir, Kashmir, Pashm, Tiflit, Tiftik, Tivit, and Tibet. India contributes only about 1% of the world's Pashmina, but the Pashmina produced in India is the best of whole world and occupies unique position in India. Pashmina is obtained from Ladakh region of Jammu and Kashmir, Lahaul and Spiti Valley of Himachal Pradesh, Uttarkashi, Chamoli, and Pithargarh district of Uttaranchal. Pashmina obtained from Jammu and Kashmir is known as Chanthangi Pashmina, whereas that obtained from Himachal Pradesh is known as Chegu Pashmina. The goat, Capra hircus, is a mammal belonging to the subfamily Caprinae of the family Bovidae. The goats produce a double fleece consisting of the fine, soft undercover of hair mingled with a straighter and much coarser outer coating of hair called guard hair. The commonest natural colors of Pashmina are grey, brown-black, while white being rarer. Among all shades, white one is fetching highest price because of rarity. The Students' Educational and Cultural Movement of Ladakh, or SECMOL, is an organization founded in 1988 aimed at reforming the educational system of Ladakh by a group of young Ladakhis. Built using simple, low-cost traditional techniques, the campus now comprises 3 residential houses, 20 small cell rooms, and a large school building. All are solar heated. It aims to develop techniques that use alternative energy sources. Sonam Wangchuk, its founding director, invented the ice stupa technique that creates artificial glaciers used for storing water in form of conical-shaped ice heap. Wangchuk came into the spotlight in 2009 when his story inspired Amir Khan's character Funsuk Wangru or Rancho in the Rajkumar Hirani directed film Three Idiots. He has been referred as the real-life Funsuk Wangru for his contribution towards the transformation of education in Ladakh through innovations. In January 2014, Wangchuk started the project Ice Stupa. His aim was to find a solution to water crisis being faced by the farmers of Ladakh in the critical planting months of April and May before the natural glacial melt waters start flowing. By the end of February 2014, they had successfully built a 2-story prototype of an ice stupa which could store roughly 150,000 liters of water stream, which nobody wanted at the time. To provide a platform for further innovations, the Himalayan Institute of Alternatives, Ladakh, is being planned. With growing human interference, this fragile ecosystem is under threat and varying climate is an additional stressor. According to IPCC report of 2007, various projections shows that mountains are experiencing disproportionate warming. This work focuses upon challenges on the better understanding and management of geodiverse region with inclusive principles of human response to the abiotic components in the Trans-Himalayan district with the aim to provide an insight to geoconservation. Let's reduce, let's reuse and recycle, but also learn to refuse the unethical geoecological practices. Thank you.